Hi, I am Linda Deir, and this guy
here is a very important guy. It's Ray Holly, and I am the Senior Vice President of Marketing Mojo and the Director of Shameless Promotion for Linda Deir.
Do you love that? Shameless promotion.
That's it.
That's what it takes. Ray toots the horn, not me.
Toot, toot.
And like always, we are always so happy to be here with you on Tuesday nights. We're going to be talking about Linda's weekly guided insights, and I ask my spirit guides each week about what it is that you need to know right now. What's the most important thing? We channel these insights using Ask the Universal Channel, the same way your spirit guides and angels interact with you in a personal coaching session with me. And just like always, Ray will be monitoring the Facebook feed for your questions and comments, so feel free to speak up and let me know what's on your mind regarding tonight's insight. Tonight, the spirit guides will be talking about the importance of being lucid in dreams and in life. This was published today in Linda's weekly guided insights. The importance of being lucid in dreams and in life. Being lucid is radical awareness. You cannot wait for a lucid dream to begin to become aware. You must start now in your daily life by becoming aware and conscious of your surroundings. What the lucid dream will teach you is how to tap into the connection to the guidance that we are always sending you. Whether you are in a lucid dream or just going through your daily routine. Lucid dreams remind you of your personal power and what's possible. Lucidity is the ultimate connection. When your awareness is enhanced. In my book, Guided, Chapter 1, I described what it's like to be lucid in your day life. I came into this life knowing that something more was going on than just what seemed to be happening in this family karma I found myself in. This, in my case, it was a dismal situation. I knew something else was going on. Something was trying to reach me. Something was communicating to me. Something was reminding me of who I was before I came here. Reminding me why I came here. That's lucidity. That's not something you can ever sit back and go, well, I wonder if this or that. Doubt what you just received. You can't. It's undeniable. It goes into your core. It's a soul feeling, an urge from within you. This lucidity that lets you know things instantly. Now, if you can take that lucidity, most people think about lucidity as having a lucid dream. But what the lucid dream is really meant to show you, if you're having lucid dreams, the fact that you had that lucid dream lets you know it's possible to bring that awareness, that radical awareness into your daily routine and be lucid in your day life. Okay? That's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Because you're really awake when you're sleeping and dreaming.
Now, wait. You're really awake.
In your dreams.
You're really awake in your dreams.
Right.
Explain that, Ray.
Well, it's where you are in the reality where it's limitless in your dreams, especially lucid dreams.
Okay.
Possibilities are endless.
Okay, so what Ray's talking about is you're really awake in your dreams, which is where you are limitless.
Right.
Okay? You're lucid, and not always lucid in your dream. Being lucid in a dream happens, but it's not something you feel you can control. Okay?
It either happens or it doesn't happen, right?
It either happens or it doesn't. You either know something or you don't. Same thing in your daily life. It's the same thing in your day life where you're either lucid, you know something, or you don't. Or you realize something, or you don't. It's one or the other. But when you experience it, you know it. You don't question it. You just go, now that was amazing. You know it was something that was real, all right?
You know, I have lucid dreams, you know, not as often as like you do, but I think it might have something to do with how much mental clutter you go to sleep with. You know, all the stuff that's going on in your head when you're trying to sleep, the stuff that keeps you awake.
Well, not really. You could go to sleep, you could be filled with clutter and have a moment of clarity. So don't expect your chaotic life to completely overwhelm your potential for being aware, because it does slip through. It slips through the cracks when you're washing your hands, when you're in the shower, when you have that lucid moment where you realize something. That's lucid. That's lucidity. That's clarity. That's awareness. That's knowing. Even if it's for a split second, driving somewhere. Oh my God, you just had that come to you. You can feel it's right. You know that's right. So that's the lucidness that I said that the guides talked about earlier in this, where they said being lucid. This is Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. You guys want to sign up for this. It's in the description of this video. Make sure that you have signed up for Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. We do these live events every Tuesday right here on Facebook. So being lucid is radical awareness. That's what being lucid is. So Ray, who do we have with us?
Well, we have some very exciting people here. Kimberly Williams. Hi, Kimberly. Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, you guys.
It's good evening, everyone. Linda Deir's here. Ray Holly's here. Barbara Ann Sinowitz. Hi, Barbara.
Great to have you.
Lori Sorensen. She's back. Hi,
Great.
Lori. And Denise Neerstadt.
Great.
Hey, all. Hey, all.
Thank you for the review, Denise. Appreciate that.
Yes.
You notice I didn't say my review, the review for me, the review for Guided. It just helps people find the book and help them heal their life, you know. We appreciate it. Any of you who have read Guided or any of my books, please remember to leave a review. It's so important. All right. Okay, Ray.
Okay, so we have a comment here.
Good.
Let's see here.
We want your
Kimberly.
questions. We want your comments tonight. And we will be talking directly with you about that.
And Linda Schwartz is here from Mexico. Hola, Linda. Okay, Kimberly says she's having a fantastic evening. She's eating cauliflower crust pizza. I love that I can eat pizza and not worry about that I'm eating unwanted carbs. You know, I tried cauliflower pizza one time. You know how people go through, like, they take a pizza and they pick things off and go, oh, I can't eat that. I can't eat this. You know, they take it off and then they eat it. I'd have to take the crust off if I had cauliflower crust. I don't like cauliflower.
So what do we have for a question?
A question.
A comment or a question.
Kimberly says she hasn't been able to remember her dreams lately. What's the magic of remembering? How do you, well, I expect when I go to sleep, I kind of ask for a dream that's fun, something worthwhile remembering, you know, and that I do remember it. And that's kind of when the mornings you ask me, how were your dreams? What were your dreams? I can remember. But if I just kind of drift off and don't set up that expectation, lately we've been really tired at night. I've been falling asleep right away.
So let's answer her question.
Okay.
Okay, what is her question again, Ray?
Well, what's the magic of remembering?
Okay, I don't know that there's magic in this. Okay, I think it's probably a lot more practical than you may think. All right, Ray, come over and let's let her guides. You have a specific, I can feel it in you, Kimberly. You are doing something specific to you. Now, this is, you know, everyone will run into this, what we're going to find out and flesh out from your guides about what you're going through right now, because everybody has, it's like writer's block. Okay?
It is, dreamer's block.
It just, you get, something happens where, you know, you're in the way. Okay, I can tell you right now, you're the one that's the problem here. Don't you love that? Okay, we're going to let your guides talk to you about it. Here they go. About your situation.
Kimberly, we send you a clear signal in your dreams. You are like the antenna that has to be tuned to a specific frequency. We see that your inability to remember your dreams has to do with being cluttered of mind during the day. Practice being lucid and clear of in thought during your waking hours by eliminating distractions. If you are distracted all day long, it is difficult to relax and be open to having a lucid dream.
Okay, what's going on in your day-to-day life is you are, what they mean by the clutter, is you have opinions about what's going on all day long, about the people and what's going on around you, whatever, okay? You have opinions about it. You have judgment around it in some way. You have something about your own bias that's playing into your day-to-day life that fogs over your clarity, and you take that with you when you go to sleep into your dreams.
That's a good explanation.
So if you are doing that in your daily life, here's the key. You want to, man, I'm never going to stop picking this up. Part 3, you need to report back to yourself more. The 15 minutes, you might need to do that twice a day instead of once a day in part 3. And write down about what you're doing in your day-to-day life. In your particular case, Kimberly, in part 3, you need to record, you need to document where you got in your own way, where instead of being open and just let it come through, whatever it is. Someone comes up in your checkout line, don't judge them. Don't tell them what to do. Don't just stay out of the way. Let them come through with something that might be useful for you. Maybe they know something, even they don't realize. They just kind of go, blah, 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 and there it is. They don't even realize what they just told you because they're like an agent sent in from your guidance to send you a message. But when you have your mind filled up with all your own ideas about the way things are, about what should be, about how these people should behave, or judgment around anything, your mind is closed down and you're in the way. And that's what they mean by the distractions of your mind. Okay, you've got to empty the cup. You've got to lower the boom so you can be open to what comes to you. It's a humbleness, okay? That's what you need to do. And then you will start to remember your dreams. And not only that, but you'll start picking up on the guidance in a different way, in a clearer way every day, in addition to your nightlife. Ultimately, leading you to lucidity. Lucidity is radical awareness. You can't have it if you already have your mind set in some bias, some idea, the way things should be. They can't get through that, okay?
Do you think it would help Kimberly or anybody if they spent those 15 minutes right before they go to sleep?
I would recommend it, where you breathe out the tension of the day. You don't have the whole day building up on you. I got to do this, I got to get that done, I've got to go here and there. You don't have any of that. By the time you lay down in bed, like Ray just suggested, you could take that breath, bring out your journal, and write down about how you perceived that your day went, and tell the truth. Remember the truth? Yeah. Radical honesty. Lay it down on these pages. This is your life. You don't want to make stuff up here. Don't put your opinion down. Just write down what you were the most lucid about, most aware about, where you could have done better that day. I want you to spend some time with that. Okay?
Okay, we have some new people. Dickie Lee joined us. Hi, Dickie. And Jay Handy.
Jay, nice to have both.
Another wonderful artist from Wisconsin.
He is. How about this backdrop, Jay? How about it, huh?
You know, Kimberly's a great artist.
Oh,
She's
is.
in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Jay's a great artist.
Yeah.
He's in Wisconsin.
Oh, my gosh.
Jay,
Yes.
all these great artists live in Wisconsin. Jay, you should check out Kimberly's work.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It's really
And
very
Kimberly,
good.
you should look at Jay's. Very unique.
Yeah.
Barbara Ann says, well, that's me as well. Too much going on in her head. Too much going on in her mind all day. And she's a deep sleeper, so she only tends to remember the last few minutes of her dreams, right before she wakes up.
That's pretty common, by the way. That's and what you want to do. What was her name again?
That's Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, what I want you to do. I want you in the morning when you remember the tail end of that dream, when it feels like it's just the tail end. I want you to go back into the slumber, move back into the position you were in when you woke back up. If you're on this side, lay back on this side. If you're on your back, lay back in the same position. And breathe and go back into the slumber, relax, and go back into that restfulness and that peacefulness. Just enough that you don't fall back to sleep again. That's a lucid place. That's where you're in between worlds, okay? And where you can pick up on what they conveyed to you, what the dream conveyed to you, what it was. The details of the dream is what's really important, you guys. And what it was, let it come back through to you. It's a feeling. It's a connection. It's like being there again. And then when you wake up, before you put your foot to the floor, get your journal out, part 3, and write your dream down. If you don't have time to write it down, write the key words down, the key phrases down on the page. And then when you get up to have, your drink in the morning and, your breakfast and everything, you can see those key words on the page and you can go, trigger. I remember the dream, and then write the dream down while you're comfortable at your table. And when you're done, ask yourself, the next question here is to ask yourself, how did what you wrote down, in this case your dream, how did it make you feel? After you're done writing it down, sit there and breathe and remember how it made you feel. Write it down, and then the next question is write down what you realized from what you felt. You're going to be able to write down what you realized once you know how it made you feel. And from that, you're going to know the action you're going to take. That's the 4th question here. All right? You're going to have what you need. You're going to date it, and you're going to keep it in chronological order and keep it going. And if you don't remember your dream the next night or whatever, write in your journal about what happened that day. That's bringing lucidity into your day life. It's awareness, you guys. It's radical awareness. And I almost feel bad about calling it radical awareness, because when I do that, it seems like it's so hard to reach. Really what lucidity is, read the things that lucidity is when you searched it out on the internet, Ray.
Oh.
This is the description from a Webster dictionary point of view.
Merriam-Webster.
Okay, here.
Merriam, remember her?
Okay.
All right. Because lucid is not just relevant to dreams.
Right.
Lucid in general means having a clear mind.
Right. Well, read what it says.
Free from the mental clutter.
Okay, that's what it said.
The ability to think and act in a clear and consistent manner.
That's why it's important to start documenting what's going on with you guys, so that this becomes normal for you. Go ahead, Ray.
Being coherent, and by coherent, they meant present and aware during the day.
Right.
Just like you'd be present and aware in a lucid dream.
Right.
Being straightforward, crystal clear were some of the examples.
Let me say something about coherent. Co-hear. Okay, that means that you hear more than one. Co-create means more than one, two, okay? From both worlds, you are able to connect with and perceive, hear, connect with, okay? Coherent, all right? You're not in this alone, you guys. You're not in this alone. You are never alone and always being guided. That's the whole core premise to this.
Also, being self-evident or self-explanatory, which I took as just being obvious. Pick up on the obvious things.
Okay, it's what you know. When you have lucidity, day, night, you have lucidity. What you walk away with, what you realize, is something you know. It's not something you can turn around and say, well, maybe it meant this or maybe it was that. There's no second guessing. It's obvious what it was. That's what Ray's really talking about right there.
And then when you get good at it, being lucid, in your day life, you become more perceptive, and things become more understandable, easier to understand. You're not confused by what you encounter.
Again, you don't doubt yourself. When you're lucid, you get the information. It's absolute clarity. It's knowingness. It's not something that you can negotiate with. It's the truth. It is what it is.
Truth and love.
It's clear. It resonates. It resonates.
You said something before about the feeling of a very intense dream, how it lingers for a while. Okay, and Denise says, could you explain again why that feeling of a very intense dream tends to linger?
I said something about it intense
tonight.
dream.
Yeah.
Okay, did I read it off the insight, Ray?
I don't remember. Okay, so here, let's just take it like you're addressing it the first time. Explain why the feeling of a very intense dream tends to linger for a while after you wake up. Is that good or bad?
Okay. Now I see what she's talking about. Okay, something that's trying to get your attention.
There you go.
Okay, and what was her question around that?
Is it good or bad?
Okay, what I just did,
lingers.
I went like this. It means to get your attention. Is that good or bad? What it really is, it's trying to get your attention because they haven't been able to get through to you. Trying to get through to you here, say it like this, try that, come at you from this side, but you keep missing it, So this guidance, this higher self of you, the whole universe is trying to get through to you because you're the one that's missing it. So that's what the only thing that means. So what do, Denise? You know that they're not going like this. They're not going like this. They're going like this. They're really trying to get through to you. So what do? You do your part. You do your part. You write down what you could remember about that dream, that loud and clear dream that lingered. Write it down. You don't have to figure out what it means. You're going to know what it means. You're going to write it down, how it made you feel and what you realized, and from what you realized, what action you intend to take, you envision taking, you imagine taking, okay? That would be the best option for you. And then just keep writing down what happened the next day. If you don't remember a dream, write down what happened in your day life. This session is about the importance of being lucid in your dreams and your day life. Write it down. You're going to see, what you're going to see over the course of time, you're going to see a process. You're going to see how the dots are connected. You're going to see the storyline. And you can't miss it once you see that. And when you see that, I want you guys to know, when you finally connect with it, when you see it, those kind of dreams will change. You know why? Because you got it. And they're ready to show you more. All right? It gets more and more intriguing. This is your life. This is about you living your best life. But if you're not lucid, if you're not aware, then you're pretty much missing it. You know, you're kind of just, it's like a rock. You remember when you were a kid, you take a rock, and it was the thinner the better, and you'd skip it across the water and just go ding, 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 like this. It's like skipping across the water, but never looking down and seeing what's really going on. Okay? That's what lucidity is. It lets you see what you couldn't normally see in the depths of you.
Like I said, realizing the obvious.
It becomes obvious. When you see it, you go, well, I knew that. When that happens, write it down. Don't take it for granted. Write it all down so you don't miss one of those dots making the connection. You don't want to break the connection, all right? It's easy stuff, you guys. It's so easy, a baby could do it. I did it, all right? I started doing this as a kid. You guys can do this.
Okay, Denise says, 2 thumbs up.
How about I love those thumbs, the dancing thumbs on Ray.
Okay, Mona, join us. Hi, Mona. We haven't seen you for a while.
Oh my gosh, that's
Kirk Matia. Kirk, we haven't seen you for a long time.
We haven't. Oh my
Kirk,
gosh.
welcome.
So nice to have you, Kirk. Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk is with us here. Kimberly says, sometimes I feel that my mind is cluttered with worry about things that have not even happened yet. I've been so worried about how I'm going to get my art career started. Her mind's been very cluttered.
Well, you know, worry is a huge waste of time. In fact, in one of my insights, the guides called it, worry is self-abuse.
It is.
It really is. I mean, what you do is you sit there and you kind of go, wong. You just go in a circle and you're going, God, I'm just not getting anywhere. I'm spinning my wheels, literally, okay? Worry has no purpose. But I will tell you what worry, in your case, you take worry, you honor your worry. Write down in part 3 what you are worried about. That's what this book is for, you guys. Use your journal. Write down what's worrying you. As you write it down, Kimberly, see, it's not a matter of doing this once in a while. You need to do this every day. And only then are you going to see, how do I say this to you guys? When you write this down, when you do this every day, you're going to see how lucid you can be. But you can't see it in one entry. You've got to keep this thing going. A dream one day, something that happened in your daily life, something unusual or out of the ordinary, something that is worrying you, something you feel you lack. Write it in here. This is your best friend. Nobody's ever going to see this. And this is a conversation that you are having with your guides. You do not know it yet. When you don't know it, you're not lucid yet. Did you hear me say yet? That it will happen. But it won't happen if you don't honor who you are by doing this one step every single day. Do this.
Okay. Mona has a question. Mona says she wonders if when she has conversations with spirits, will that include what you got wrong or only what you got right?
Now wait, does what include? What is
conversations with her spirit guides? Does it include? Will they tell her what she's doing wrong, or only tell her what she's doing?
Oh
right?
no, they'll tell you. They tell you the truth. They refer to themselves as 2 things. It's very simple, but very intense. They refer to themselves as truth and love. And what they mean by that is they always tell you the truth with love. Because they love you. They want you to get through this. They know why you came here. They want you to get through your lessons so you can get on with your life. Okay? So that's why they're here. So again, the question again, read it back.
Will they include what you got wrong or only about what's right?
So it's both. It's you have to write down what you think about how you're doing. You need to report back to yourself. When they see you do that, I want you guys to know, when you write in your journal, your guides are watching what you're doing. They're watching us right now. There's hundreds of them with us right now. Did you know that?
Here we go.
And that's as lucid as it gets. So when you do this, you're co-creating. You're not just writing to yourself. You're having a conversation with all of those who followed you here. Okay?
Yeah. The guides don't really see it, anything they tell you, as good or bad. It's not good or bad.
No.
It just is.
They tell you what you need to know so you can move on with your journey here. They're here. They know why you're here. You guys planned your life before you came here. So they're the ones that pick it up. They're the ones that, because they didn't get the amnesia when you came here, you did.
It's the meaning that you attach to something, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
If they tell you, if the weatherman tells you it's going to rain Saturday, and you hear him tell you, you go, oh, wonderful. My flower's going to grow, the crops are going to grow, we really needed that rain. But somebody else is going, oh, that's the worst thing that could happen Saturday. We had a picnic planned.
And so do you see how that, if that's something you're battling through, though, who is this, Ray?
It was Mona.
Mona, if this is something you're battling through, that you can't seem to get over it, write it down. Write down what you're having, what you feel perplexed about, okay? Write it down and imagine that you're having this conversation with them, because you are. You're just not quite lucid enough, there you go, not quite lucid enough to realize it for sure. But if you do this enough, you will start to become lucid enough, and these things that used to confuse you won't have control over you anymore, because your awareness will be heightened.
And just be careful what you assign to what you hear or see.
You can't take advice like this. You can't take advice like this. It feels like somebody's trying to tell you how to do it. I don't know how to tell you to do it, but I do know how to remind you of who you are. I know how to take you back. Part 3, I know where to take you so you can lay it down on the pages and have this conversation with those who followed you here, those who know you best, to bring awareness, to bring ultimately lucidity to your life, where you have absolute clarity. By the way, when you have lucidity, I will say this about it, it's a humbling feeling. It's so deep, it's so powerful. It's amazing, you guys. It's almost like having an out-of-body experience. Once you experience that, you experience yourself in where you go when you leave this dimension, when you're released from this world. That's where you go. So I mean, it's an amazing experience. But wouldn't it be nice if we could be lucid enough to have that experience all the time? Our life would never be hard. Not a hard thing about it. We'd have what we needed at the moment, at the height of it. So lucid dreams, being lucid and lucid in your day life happens when you track your steps.
Okay, Linda Schwartz. She's been doing her journaling with the guides, and she doesn't like hearing that she should pack up and be ready to leave at a moment's notice, although she is committed to being in Mexico for another 2 months, being where she is. Any comments on this? Thank you. Emergencies, other, and then she says, oh, by the way, I did pack up one suitcase just in case.
Okay, so what they did is what they did with Linda, her guides, they told her the truth. Linda heard the truth and said to herself, well, this doesn't feel convenient.
That's the convenient part.
Okay, and so once again, we're in the way. We're resisting what is. Instead of, see, another thing about being lucid, you just accept what is. It is what it is. You know you can't fight it. You can't swim upstream. it takes too much work. If it's hard, you're going the wrong direction. So the only thing that happens is we get in the way because it's inconvenient. Okay? That's our problem. So if you're doing that, if you're catching yourself doing that, you guys, you're all going to catch yourself doing this kind of stuff. Write down what you caught yourself doing in part 3. So you can see what you're doing on the pages, how you're getting in your own way. You can justify it by all kinds of, well, I can't afford to go right now. I can't do this right now. You wouldn't have gotten the guidance if those things were absolute. I'm telling you, write it down because you can't see it when you're in it. You know? That's just it's the unfortunate part of being in this world, being in the physical body and being, densified. Our energy is immense, but when we're in a physical body, we agreed to play this role for this time. It really, really, is confining. So you really have to, let it go. Stretch yourself out, breathe, and write down what's going on with you, my dear. And this is the way you're going to learn to love yourself. This is it. This is the way you're going to learn to be lucid and accept what is. And you guys, there's no reason not to. It's so much easier when you just go with the flow. You heard this before. Go with the flow. And better than go with the flow, when you go with the flow and you learn to go with the flow and you practice going with the flow, you hit the zone. When you hit the zone, that's total lucidity. There's nothing that you can't do. Everything's possible when you hit that sweet spot. That's the kind of life you want to be living. Okay, that's it. That's where it's at.
Okay, here's an interesting comment from Mona. Mona wants to know, is there some kind of karma you have to go through before you get what you want? And she wants to know what she's doing right and what she's doing wrong. Why won't the guides tell her what she's doing right and what she's doing wrong? And
first of all, it's too much information in one at one point. Okay, go ahead.
But does she have to go through some? She wants to know.
Sometimes we do, and I'll tell you why I know that's true. My early life, I came into a life awakened, but the counterbalance, the opposite of that, is I also came into I call it my childhood boot camp. And really it played a part in me becoming aware and so connected because I had this connection to my guides, okay, because of that early experience at 20 months old. And it's so solidified that what happened in this world was almost happening like out here. I was part of it. I wanted to run away from it. I did not want to be here, okay, or around these family members who were insane. But I wasn't allowed to run from it. So yes, my early life, I can say that my early life being front loaded with family karma and a lot of stuff I had to, it's like dragging myself through the mud for the first 16 years of my life. It was terrible. It taught me everything I needed to know to get me where I am today, to move me into my early adult life. My life was stellar. And I understood something that I didn't even appreciate, the fact that everyone really missed it. I just knew I was just, it was like, it was magical, you guys. So what I went through, see what happens, Mona, you go through this stuff where you feel so stuck, like you're in the mud. You're dragging yourself through the mud. It's all designed to get you where you intended to go in this life. You're getting the heavy lifting out of the way. You've got to get it out of the way. The other stuff can't come to you until you learn what that's attempting to teach you.
Yeah, that kind of goes with her last comment here, because she's in a hurry, okay?
Yeah.
To do things to help others, and her question was, should she be doing things for others, or should she be doing things for herself?
Okay. In the throes of this early life, childhood of mine, when it got so bad, Mona, that I couldn't stand it anymore, I helped someone else. It helped me so much to help somebody else. It let me see what I was going through differently because I got away from it long enough by helping somebody else. So that's how it helped me. That's how I learned about that. All right. So yeah, there comes a time, but there's also a time when you only have enough energy or resources to help yourself first. All right. What do you call that, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, the guys say that all the time. They say you can't help anybody else. It's like you put your own oxygen mask on first before you try to help the other passengers.
Before you can assist someone else.
Right.
And that might be the case with you. I don't know. But the way you will know is by tracking your steps. This is so easy to do, you guys. I started doing this at 7 years old. All right. I learned what I learned up to that point and realized I can't really go forward unless I start tracking my steps. And oh my God, did that really clear things up. All right. It was all the foundation work for when I would go out in my adult life and be free from all this and have the information, the higher knowledge, the intelligence to really live a life worthwhile. You see? Because I was learning from my spirit guides, not from this family I was born into. They were idiots, all right? Gotta say it like it is. I couldn't learn anything there. It was repressive. All right, so you gotta keep track of what's going on. You will see it, and you will have logged your history, and you will always be able to refer back to it in case you swing back the other way. At any time in the future, you'll have that baseline to bring you back to the truth.
Kimberly chimed in response to Mona, and she said, your spirit guides really do want to be connected with you at all times. You do have to help yourself, however, before you go out and try to help others. But like you said, when you're stuck and you can't help yourself,
yeah,
if you help someone else, you learn something important by helping them.
Yeah,
about yourself.
You know how you're going to know this, Mona? I can only describe the feeling of what it felt like when I always moved that way is I followed my heart. When I was so, I don't know what the word for it, broken, so hurt, so hopeless, I couldn't see what the heck to do. That's when my heart, I saw somebody else that was hurting. My heart hurt for them because I understood it. I was right in the thick of it myself. I knew how to help them because I was there. I was in it myself. Now, I never told them I was in it. I just took the action, and they were surprised that, number one, that somebody cared about them, and number two, that somebody understood. Somebody listened. All right.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to have somebody that will listen.
It's really true. So
you don't have to do anything.
You're gonna know because you're gonna feel it right here. Okay.
You know, when you just listen to somebody tell you what a dire situation they're in, or the problem that they're having, or the trouble they're having in their life, and you don't say anything, you don't go where they are, all of a sudden your situation doesn't seem that bad.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, it's a matter of gratitude. I
Yes.
think that's where Ray is trying to take us there, is having the gratitude, having the compassion, the empathy, you guys, and realizing, definitely not having an opinion about somebody because they're struggling. Or it might even look obvious to you. Well, it's obvious what they're doing wrong. What's wrong with them? Man, unless you want to experience that, you don't want to start talking like that or thinking like that or even feeling like that, because it all brings it back to you, all right? Oh, it looks like you need to experience this. The universe interprets it as you need to experience this so you can learn about this too. Ouch, you know. And sometimes you can't help it. You have got to experience it. My life talks about that. Something I couldn't run from, something I couldn't change. All right. And I had to do my part to understand what was really going on. That was how I interpreted it. But I had this early connection with my guides that cleared me up. And I knew that this life was not all there was, all right? So I knew there was a me before this. I came from somewhere before all this happened. And, you know, I remembered my guides and I remembered me. So that's why I know this stuff, you guys. But it's a process, and be patient with your lessons if you have them. And we all do, you guys. We have lessons and we have experiences. When our lessons are largely behind us, this is your best friend. It helped you get through those lessons, okay, with love, connected, all right? When you're through those lessons, you get to have experiences. You get to live the life you came here to live. Because that karmic stuff's finally out of the way. You did your work.
Okay. Mary Elizabeth joined us. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
So Mona says she's been helping others, and she knows all about spirit love, but she never understood her own spirit guide that well. So she's wondering if it was time to, you know, work on herself and learning more about her spirit guide before trying to go out and help the
Okay,
others.
so let's let her guides come through, and we're going to let them just say what they see with you. Of course, they're with you all the time, Mona. So here they go about that.
Mona, we want you to ask us each day, what is the most important thing I must learn or do today?
You see how simple that was? Write that down, Mona.
And write down the answer.
Yeah, write that down. And actually, no, don't write down that answer. Write down that question. And go to sleep with that question tonight. And let the answer come through. Okay? You want to make sure this answer is not coming from you, but it's coming through you. Okay? From that lucidity, from that clarity, from that knowingness, from that truth. You guys, lucidity, that is the best thing in the whole world. When you have it, you know it, you feel like nothing can knock you off your path. You are in the zone. You are true north. You are on fire, okay? How do you get there? You track your steps, part 3. I didn't talk about part 2 tonight. We know about part 2. We're going to sneak up on part 2. I'm going to help you guys out with that as I take you into my webinars, which I'm going to be creating and producing and setting up for you guys to follow this process and really nail this, okay? Yeah, part 2 is tough. Part 2 is, though, where you clean up your past so you can release the karma that may still be following you. It's only there to release the past and release the glue that keeps you stuck back there and limits your life. You can't move forward when you're standing in quicksand. You can't do it, you guys. Part 3 is designed to show you what your patterns are so you can identify what chapter in part 2 you need to work on right now. Okay? That's what it's designed to do. As long as you don't know how to go about taking part 2 on. But part 2 is critical to releasing all the glue that keeps you stuck, the frozen energy that defrost, and now you're fluid and you're present and you're lucid and you're ready to get done what you came here to do. That is what part 2 does. It releases that past that causes you to continue to cause or that causes you to continue to repeat the same things you've done in the past, and you can't seem to stop doing it. I know how that feels.
You're making the same decisions over and over with things you were taught, mostly when you were a young child.
That's
that
right,
were
right.
wrong. The things were wrong, and the people who taught them to you aren't to blame because they were taught those things by their parents who didn't know any better. And
We were raised by, if you just look at the whole thing, by an unconscious society.
that's right.
So no wonder you have all these questions that you want to get cleared up so you can get around to your life. I get that, and I'm on your side, and that's why I'm here. You guys, it's about knowing who you are. That's the bottom line. Getting into the heart of the matter is to know who you are. Once you know who you are a walking, lucid person. Okay? Day and night, you are aware. And if you slip or you lose your footing at any point in time, you have this insurance policy. This is insurance. This is your lifeline to keep you connected. A place to refer back to go, oh, I see now. I remember. I see. I know who I am. I needed a little reminder because now you have it written down. You've got it out of here and on these pages. This is a gold mine, all right?
And in the same vein, we should, anybody who missed our Linda's weekly guided live session, was it last week or 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
when we talked about the 20-year cycles?
Yeah.
Okay, you should go back and watch that again.
The cycles of your life.
Right. Go back and watch those again because the first 20-year cycle of your life is where you were taught all these wrong things.
Just go to my website and put in
Cycles of your
the
life.
cycles of your life, and that will come up. So you can, read the post and see the video, the Facebook Live we did, so you can watch the conversation. Okay.
Right, because that's
Yeah.
important because what you learned in those first 20 years became your belief systems you made decisions on.
That's part
for the
two.
next 20 years.
Part two, and that's part three. The next 20 years.
You live by those decisions that you learned how to make the first 20 years over 20 to 40, and then you get to be 40 or 50, and you found out that, man, I keep making the wrong decisions over and over.
And I want it in your defense, all of you. That's when you're beginning to get glimpses of lucidity.
Right.
Because you're now questioning what's going on. When you start to do that, you're becoming lucid, little pieces at a time. You're beginning to wake up.
But people start thinking, wow, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything I was taught.
And I will say this too, for all of you with me tonight, you guys are all of you are in a flux between not being lucid and being lucid. When you're in that in-between time, it makes you anxious. It makes you anxious. You want to get through it. It's because you realize, how limiting this has been, and how amazing it could be if only you could get your head around this. But it makes you anxious. It makes you want to get through it right now. It makes you impatient. It feels like an urgency, is what I want to say.
Like you're running out of time.
Yeah, it's an urgency because all of a sudden you're half lucid. Whoa, that's a weird feeling. And while you're in that in-between time, which is where you guys are, write it all down because that's going to get you over the hump and out of that dilemma. Do you hear me? That's how you're going to do it. All right. And that's what makes it so uncomfortable where you are. You're just uncomfortable. It's like a stone in your shoe. It keeps bugging you, Ooh, it keeps agitating you. That's, and by the way, I want you to know that's a good thing because that's your soul reminding you guys that it's time. It's your time. Okay, you're going to get through this. Okay, here I go. We're going to do our final closing message from the guides about the importance of being lucid in dreams and in life. But I've got a couple of announcements for you.
Word from our sponsors.
Next Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. Can you believe it? Join me right here on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author. This will be a Q&A and commentary, just like we did tonight, with me and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, this time instead of my spirit guides, I will be talking about the 3 primary loves of a lifetime. Now, of course, when I sat down and I wrote this, of course, I have the influence and the connection and the co-creating with my spirit guides when I write anything I write. All right. So, and this is what we've got. Okay. The 3 primary loves of a lifetime. We can all choose to stay with our first love, the love that looks good and will make everybody else happy. We can choose to stay with our second love, with the belief that if we don't have to fight for it, it's not worth it. Or we can choose the third love, the love that feels like home, the love that brings a quiet peace. Where are you on the journey through your love relationships? That's what we're going to be talking about next Tuesday. So don't miss it, you guys. The week of Valentine's, okay?
Ooh, Valentine's.
Yeah. Okay, so coming this Thursday on our Ask the Universal Channel private Facebook group, February 6th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Join us. The teachers of Ask the Universal Channel will be performing the following. These are the teachers that Ray and I taught how to do this the correct way. All right. This is interesting. And this, when I talk about what the 4 teachers are going to be talking about, these are also the what would you call it? The challenges that they're facing all the time as they're learning this communication with their own spirit guides. They want to know this too. Okay. Kathy's spirit guides will explain manifesting joy and abundance. Joy's spirit guides will discuss disappointments when it appears our guidance was false. How about that? So she gets guidance and then she feels disappointed with the guidance because it appears to be false. What is it that she's missing that's causing that to happen? All right. That's the question. That's what the guides are going to talk about. Veronica's spirit guides will be talking about human and spiritual rights. That's interesting. I love it. And Kim's spirit guides will talk about having a higher vibration. This event will be hosted by Linda Deir and Ray Holly.
Ray Holly.
So look for the instructions on how to join this private group on Facebook in the description of this video. Okay, and like always, we're going to do the closing message. If the work that I do changes your life in any way, please share these videos, tell them about my books, the website filled with great information there. Sign up for Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. I appreciate your support. Leave reviews on my books. Critical.
Very important.
Yeah, that's so important. I appreciate it. It just takes a few moments and I see them, you guys. And I go, oh my God, Denise left a review, Ray, look. And he goes, what did it say, Linda? Okay, we have a great time with that. So it lights up our day. All right, thank you.
Authors live for those 5-star reviews.
It's critical to the process because people won't find the books if they don't see, this confirmation. They look for it. They depend on it. All right. Okay, so the spirit guides are going to close this session about the importance of being lucid in dreams and in daylight. Here they go.
It's important to be lucid in both your dreams and your daily life. How do you know if you are lucid in your day life? It's easy in your dream state to realize you're lucid. But how about day-to-day existence? If things are obscure and scattered, you are not lucid. If you are constantly distracted easily by what's going on around you, you are not lucid. If everyone around you is frantic, you are not being lucid. And if you are obsessed with something and shutting out everything else, it's difficult to be lucid. So look for these warning signs in your life and eliminate them one by one.
I knew they were going to say that. Okay, eliminate them one by one. How do you do that? You start identifying what they are,
right,
and documenting what they were. Did you hear me say were? Because this will move quickly. You will not, what happened one day, once you identify it and lay it down on the pages, has a less chance of happening a second time. You know, when it happens a second time, it's like Groundhog Day. You can feel it coming. Just the same old thing again and again and again. I mean, really, you guys are all done with that. Okay, so identify what it is so that you can see it on the pages. This is your best friend. This is going to let you have your life back. This is going to allow you to be lucid, to give you the option to be lucid, okay? It's always your choice, you guys. You'll have those times when being lucid may not feel like you can do it, like it's going to happen, like maybe it will never happen. And that's when it will happen. You know why? Because your expectations are out of the way.
Right.
So some days, on your lowest days, is when you have those brilliant epiphanies because you're not expecting anything. You understand? It's us that's in the way of this higher awareness, this intelligence that's always available to us. All right? What's that, Ray?
Oh, Hannah joined us. Hannah, what are you doing up at 4 o'clock in the morning in England? And Denise said, thank you for another insightful hour. See you next week.
Love it.
We can't wait.
We'll see all of you next week. And what's that, Ray?
And Kimberly had a question before about how could she jumpstart her art career. I think if her and Jay got together and had a dual showing of their artwork,
wow,
that jumpstart both their careers.
Isn't that something?
They're both fabulous art. You need to check out their art.
Yeah, look at each other's. You're both amazing. Okay.
Amazing art. And different, totally different from each other.
Yeah, you need to get out and you need to reach out to people like Ray just said to you, Kimberly, and Jay too, where you guys can, you've expanded your universe by 100%.
Right.
By making that one solid connection that's perfect for both of you. It's a bullseye.
And
You know,
find a venue where you guys can go out. Find a gallery where you can go out and have a fabulous showing.
you never know, you know, or just make a friend, or, you know, watch each other so you can learn. We don't know. We don't know what's best for us at any given time. That's not our job. Our job is to track our steps, because you can't see it when you're in it. I always will tell you that. You can't see it while you're in it, so that you can review what happened and go, I can see it now, especially as I connect the dots and I connect the next day and the next 15 minutes and the next dream and the next epiphany and the next, whoops, I had a slip and I kind of lost myself here. And the next, this is a story of your life. This is you in action. This is how you're going to find out where you're being pointed to go, and your highest and best life. All right. And whatever karma's out there, you guys, you're going to get right through it, but you got to track it. You got to see it on the pages. And if it's karmic, you got to get it out of here, put it on the pages so it quits tormenting you. Okay.
Right. Okay. Hannah says, yep, she couldn't sleep. Must have been important for her to wake up and watch us.
Good. We're gonna close the session now. But,
We did.
Oh, you already closed it?
We did. Our final message.
Yeah, we did. And Hannah, you can watch the video. It's about an hour and 5 minutes. All over again. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Now you can go back to sleep and have a lucid dream.
You are wonderful. We love you guys, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Week. And don't forget, your spirit guides have ears, so talk to them.
Well, they know exactly where you are. You have to do your part. Okay, you guys.
Good night.
Good night.